So in this speech, I put together about 4 stories that are funny that I thought of with my wife. Each one has their own title. The first one is called Frozen Heart. This you'll see why that was called Frozen Heart. Me and my friend and my wife went camping, and this was just before the winter started. And when we went camping, we pulled into next to a river, and we looked around. There were no other campers around there. We were like, wow, this is good. This is kind of isolated. This is fun. So we started a little bonfire. We brought out our wines. We drank, got a little nice and tipsy. Started dancing around the fire. Comes nighttime, so we put up the tent, go to sleep. All of us, big tent. And at nighttime, my wife starts pounding on my heart, and she's trying to wake me up. And I'm, pretty drunk at that point, and so I don't wake up. And then she started really pounding me, and then she's like, "Wake up! I'm freezing. My heart is about to freeze." So we ended up getting into the car that was close to a camping site, and so I was like, "Let me wake up my buddy Sabri." So I tried waking him up, and he was way too drunk, so he just sleeps there. And so me and my wife gets into a car, and we turn on the heater and sleep in the car all night. But it was just funny. Next day we were talking about it, and my wife is like, my heart almost froze. I was like, how's your heart almost froze, But it was just really funny to have somebody say that. So that's why I named it Frozen Heart. Second one was me and my wife went to Universal Park in Florida. There, instead of having parking numbers like A1 or C1 or C13, they have animals. They have gorilla and bunnies as their parking logo that you remember to buy. So I thought I remembered the right spot. I thought I remembered the gorilla, but it was actually a dinosaur. So when we get back, we're looking around everywhere, and the way my car was parked was actually pointing one direction, and only one lane was parked in a way where it was pointing to one particular direction. So I remember my car was parked in that particular direction. All the other car was parked on the right-hand side. So we started searching. We searched for about 15 minutes. We were like, I can't find my car. So we got on the little mini cart, drive around for about 10-15 minutes. We keep driving. He's like, well, it's not here. He's like, you sure we parked in this parking lot? We're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So he's like, why don't you go check the next parking lot? So we go to the next parking lot. We look there for about 20 minutes. Nothing. So my wife lives in Orlando, so I call her dad. I said, my car is stolen. Can't find the car. So it takes a long time, and finally the security guard is like, okay, I think I know the spot you're in. So he finally pulls up, and we get there, and we're like, oh, okay, here's the car. Finally. So after about an hour of scare, we get to find the car, and it's just, obviously makes it a funny story, but in the hour you're there, you're terrified. Your car is stolen. So that was one of the second story. Title was Stolen Car at Universal. Third is called Final Destination. So my wife was living in Orlando. I was living in South Carolina. So I would go and visit her, and every time I went out to visit her, the whole day was like all day just having fun. Bowling, movies, like 5 dates in one day. I had to get back to work on Monday in South Carolina. So you go watch the movie Final Destination, I think part 2. And we're stepping out on the road. We're about to cross the road. And I'm about to step like this, and 2 feet in front of me, this big SUV just goes by 60 miles an hour trying to run the red light. And my life's like, wow, that was Final Destination. We saw the movie Final Destination. I almost meet my Final Destination. So it's pretty funny that, the title was Final Destination for that. And third is rescuing my wife. So we get married. She moves to South Carolina, and I love puppies, but we never talked about getting a dog. Topic never came up, So one day out of the blue, I go pick up a small white puppy terrier, American Terrier. That's the name, but it's pit bulls, but they call it American Terrier. It's a beautiful little white dog, perfect, small little puppy. And I bring it in, and she's like, what is this? And she's hesitant, obviously, initially, because, she didn't, there was a shock to her. I didn't talk to her. I wanted to give her a surprise. So I'm at work. She didn't have a job at that time. So I leave the puppy at the house, and I go to work. And my work was luckily only 5 minutes away. So one day I get a call. So what happened was, we have an apartment, and outside there was a little lobby. So I would leave the puppy outside there. That way, my wife was terrified of the dog for some reason. Little puppy, but yay hi, I don't understand. But she was terrified. So one day I get a call. She's terrified on the phone. She's like, "You gotta get here." She's like, "He's attacking me." I was like, "What do you mean she's attacked?" Somehow the door of the lobby was open, and the puppy sneaked in, and it came after her for some reason. Puppy wants to play with people. So she locked herself in the room, and she's calling me from the locked room. She's like, "Manny, come and help me." So I had to come from work and like rescue her from this little tiger of a puppy, So I rescued my wife from a puppy. So those are my main 4 stories that I have. I can't think of anything else really too much funny, but those are it. So thanks, guys.